I see so many people claim they've escaped the matrix or they're getting out of the matrix simply because they are living off-grid or they're homesteading, and sometimes it's just a case of them living their own truths that's on their own authenticity. But most people are still operating from their own internal matrix system. Our internal matrix system is the programming that we've been exposed to since childhood. And make sure you stick around for the entire of this video, and at the end I'm going to give you 3 steps how you can begin to heal your matrix within. So let's dive straight into the video. All this programming can come in the form of trauma, expectations imposed on us from our peers, our culture, society, family, our own parents, our own upbringing, and also what we consume on the TV or in social media. All this forms our beliefs, and the internal matrix is our egoic mind. Our ego is formed based on all our beliefs, all the pain we've encountered, everything that our external environment has told us that we must be, that, and this is who we are. And there's an indoctrination imposed on us from the external matrix that forms this internal matrix. It programs us to believe what they want us to believe. And the internal matrix will keep us trapped in this egoic mind because that's who we believe we are, because our pain, our beliefs, our programming, everything we thought we know about ourselves is in this egoic mind. We identify with the ego because that's who we believe we are, and we feel we must be nothing else other than our ego, because the ego just wants to keep us safe and keep us small and keep us in this consistent way of living that feels certain, rather than stepping outside of our comfort zone into the unknown. So the ego is not your friend, but it's not your enemy at the same time. It's like what gives us our sense of self. It tells us, well, this is who we must be based on all that programming, all those limiting beliefs that we pick up and what we consume forms this ego, and it wants us to keep us consistent in those limiting beliefs. But the ego is not your true self, because all we've done is form attachment to our stories. We get attached to the stories we tell ourselves, so then the ego says, well, that must be true. You must be who you are saying that you must be because of all these experiences, this programming that you've been exposed to. And when we begin to awaken from the matrix, our consciousness begins to expand. We begin to have awareness over our ego, all the programming, and then we can take steps to heal that internal matrix and have awareness over the fear-based information that we've been consuming ever since childhood. And this is when we free ourselves from the matrix within. Therefore, this means we have to have awareness over what we are consuming that forms all these beliefs, that forms these fears. Because what happens, we are consuming so much fear-based information from this indoctrination matrix that our choices are always fear-based. Our choices are never our own because we are so programmed from our external environment that we never have awareness of to make decisions for ourselves. We don't think for ourselves. We are thinking from these fear-based limiting beliefs because the matrix always tells us that we are not enough, that we are not good enough, that we have to consume to make us feel like we are good enough. Because often when we eat, when we watch TV, we are numbing down the pain that is in our matrix system, internal system, our internal guidance system that is within us is in pain. So we often just numb it down with TV and food, so we don't feel that. And we're so often told that we are small, we don't have the power, we are limited humans with zero capabilities, when that is simply not true. To be able to see the matrix for what it is and how it's enslaved us, we have to go within and see our own matrix system within what we have been programmed with. Because only then we can really change our external environment, because our outer world is always a reflection of our inner world. This is where you may find yourself in the same situations, the same relationships, the same limiting beliefs again and again, because you're operating from your trauma, from that programming that tells you that you are not enough. So you attract all these unworthy relationships that are actually telling you that you are not enough, because you are constantly operating from the egoic mind, that subconscious mind of these limiting beliefs, this programming. So this means when you begin to work on your inner world, the outer world will change. This is where you can begin to deprogram yourself about what you've been told about yourself. This is where you do your inner work. You reprogram your inner world, one of love, compassion and forgiveness. If you've stuck around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you 3 steps now you can take today that will help you heal that inner matrix. So number 1, consume less TV and social media. This one is a no-brainer because we consume so much information that is not necessarily healthy for us. We do not need to consume so much information. Whether you like it or not, your subconscious mind is constantly taking in that information. It never switches off. So whether you think anything is affecting you or not, your subconscious mind is still taking that in. And we often see these picture perfect lives on Instagram, then it affects our self-worth and think we're not good enough. And then we feel insecure. And when we begin to consume less TV and news, we begin to think for ourselves. We begin to make choices that are more in alignment with our higher selves, with our souls, rather than making the choices that are fear-based. We are making these choices out of fear. Media, the TV, whatever you want to call it, distracts us. Programs distract us, social media distracts us. It distracts us from the matrix, but it also distracts us from our own internal matrix. It distracts us from doing the inner work because we consume so much, because we don't want to feel the pain of our wounds, our programming, our limiting beliefs, that unworthiness that we often feel because of this indoctrination. So consuming less TV will help you begin to sit in that pain, because that's when the healing begins. So number 2, get a journal today. Start writing in a journal today. You don't even need a journal. Go and get some pieces of paper and a pen and start writing about your limiting beliefs, what you feel about yourselves. What was your childhood experience? Where may have you picked up some of your limiting beliefs that you think is real, that you believe to be true about yourself? So number 3, love and forgive yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to reprogram that internal matrix and one of love and unlimited beliefs. Because you are love, that is all you are. All the other emotions are just what the ego makes up, and nothing else exists except love. So when you begin to focus on love and forgive yourself when we do slip up and make mistakes that are based on our old limiting beliefs, that old matrix programming, we forgive ourselves and know that it's not our faults, and show ourselves some love. And a really great way you can do this is just doing some simple mirror work. You can look at yourself in the mirror and go, I love you and I forgive you. Because this is what I do. I do it literally every single day. I affirm to myself, I hold myself, I hug myself, and I say, I love you. Doing these simple steps can take you down the path of empowerment, because then you begin to heal yourself. You begin to realize, I am enough. I am good enough. I am capable, and I actually have the power. All of that reprograms that internal matrix. And this is what I've been doing. And if you'd like to know why I made the decision to get out of the matrix of what I did, you can go and watch this video right now. So until then, I will see you on the next video. Much love.